Rex, are there any other artists that you'd like to talk about at the moment?
Sure. There's some fascinating pairings and some other outstanding individuals. Let's see, a good pairing is Joel Peter Witkin, the photographer. We have a piece called LACDA from 1986 by him. That was when he was his absolute height as a photographer. And Mark Mothersbaugh, who some of you may know, is the singer from Devo. He's also an artist. The band Devo was an art project that went skyrocketed.
Yeah.
And he's also a movie composer. A lot of people don't know that. That's probably what he does most of the time these days. But we showed his art. And, the two are very similar. Joel Witkin does postmodern appropriations where he lifts classical images. In this case, it's a painting called LACDA and the Swan. The person who painted it escapes my memory at this point, not my field of expertise, but who cares? It's a classical image, but there's this drag queen, his name is Bunny. I actually knew him around in LA. Okay. He would find all these people. I know Joel. I would help him find people to pose for his images and so on. And Bunny is, actually a malformed person. He would go around in a wheelchair. He was part of the art scene back then. He has long hair. He was like a drag queen, But he's in the image posing with the swan and so on. It looks just like the painting, only it has a big freak show quality. And Joel's processes that he does, distressing the image in the dark room and so on, to create that style that is historic looking, but also really kind of scary, and the stuff that everybody has learned to love and has made him eminently collectible over the past several decades. In Mark Mothersbaugh's case, his lifts are a scan. He uses daguerreotype images, these old little things from the 19th century that are portraits of people. And then he takes that subject and processes it using the computer, as opposed to the darkroom, to great effect, much the same way that Joel does. I mean, it's a different effect.
And how would you say they relate to each other specifically? What
in both cases you get this, Mark is the king of anything you would call a mutant, and these pieces are called Beautiful Mutants. Like Bunny, the guy that's in this other thing, is definitely, he's a mutation, literally, without being pejorative or not PC. It's just just the blank fact that their interests are very similar, although they arrive through different processes. Mark is extremely digital with these works that he does, and of course Joel is entirely analog. But they're both into that historic feel, and in the end, what you get is like a dead subject staring back at you. There's this notion going around for a long time. This has been, especially in the case of Joel's work, about the subject of a photograph just being kind of a dead person staring back at you, even if they were alive when they took the image. In the end, that's what it is. Well, Joel went even further. He would pose dead people and take a picture of them. They were actually really dead. He would get them from Mexican morgues, which caused a huge sensation back in the 80s when he started to do that. So the two, although they probably don't think of each other in this way, I'm sure they're cognizant of each other. They're extremely similar, although once again, the approaches are informed by different technologies.
Executed differently with similarities and contextualization.